Hey guys, what's up? It's Carrie Radical and I'm back with another video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing on my Dylan Mulvaney Days of Being a Girl critique. I actually didn't think that it was going to get as many views as it did, and I'm super ecstatic and super excited to see that. And, I'm going to be posting a lot more videos of that type. So I'm going to be posting another Dylan Mulvaney video. I just have to finish editing it and rendering it, and it should be up within the next 2 to 3 days. Um, Another thing too is I'm working on the Ontario high school teacher that's gone viral on Twitter. So look out for that one. That's going to come in the next week. And I also made a Patreon and a Cash App. They'll both be linked down in the description and at the end of the video. So, if you guys want to help support the channel, you guys can. That way I can, start pumping out more videos and have a regular uploading type schedule. This one I'm going to be reading a trans woman's Reddit post. And, this is just insane, guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. TERF at work put a transphobic sticker in the toilet, yet somehow I am the one getting in trouble. Hey ladies, earlier I noticed a TERF sticker saying women equals adult human female in the girls' toilets at work. I was fuming. I can't believe one of my colleagues denies my entire identity. I can't believe there is a TERF at work looking to make me feel like shit and try to ruin my life, while I was just doing a pee. I was literally so angry I couldn't help but feel like this is a direct attack on me, as I am the only trans person here, and she was trying to make me feel like shit, and was trying to force me back into the closet. Someone in my own workplace felt the need to tell me they hated me, and all women like me, and deny our existence. I complained about it to Human Resources, and they didn't take my complaint seriously. It was clear that the bitch I talked to had never had her identity questioned and had no empathy. She just didn't care at all and completely minimized what I was feeling. I wouldn't be surprised if she was the TERF who put it up, as she just didn't see the problem. She just kept saying, it's just a sticker, but it's not just a sticker. It's someone going out of their way to try and completely deny who I am and try and take away the rights of all trans people and deny our right to even be. That's why I was fuming. But it was clear from the onset she didn't care and was constantly minimizing my experiences. She asked me sarcastically, "What do you expect me to do?" And when I suggested doing fingerprint scans, she practically laughed me out the room. I now realize maybe I was unreasonable to expect them to find the TERF that put them up, and even if they did, they probably couldn't do anything because I'm in the UK. They'd probably use that stupid Forrester bitch's TERF law to claim it was discrimination or some nonsense. And everyone is a fucking TERF, even the fucking Prime Minister, and it is somehow okay. However, I couldn't believe that she showed no understanding and completely minimized my experience. Imagine if a black person was complaining about racist stickers in the toilets. There's no way they would have had their experiences completely minimized and received so much disrespect from that patronizing bitch. There's no way they would tell them it's just a sticker. There's no way they would be laughed at. They would be laughed out of the room and made to feel shit and wrong just for complaining. And I'm convinced if this was the case, they would find a way of finding whoever put that up, and quite rightly. In fact, I just Googled it and found several cases where someone was jailed for putting a racist sticker up, and quite rightly. And I don't understand why it's not the same for this. Actually, I do. It's because in this case, it's about stuck-up cis women claiming to be uncomfortable. There's a cis woman that I thought was probably a TERF. She has previously told me, completely unnecessarily, that I had male privilege due to transitioning as an adult, even though I am a woman. Her and another cis woman were having a discussion about how to get more girls in STEM. I tried to join this conversation as I feel I have a lot of insight into this, and she told me that I had male privilege and was rude to me. This is such an ignorant comment. Does she not realize I've spent my entire life in the closet pretending to be someone I'm not? How can she say that that is privilege? Does she not realize the amount of discrimination us trans girls face every day and the amount of prejudices everyone has about us and how they don't take us seriously? Does she not realize how the hate we receive on a daily basis just for existing? How can she possibly think this? Clearly, I don't have male privilege, as shown by the fact that her complaints are taken seriously, whereas mine are immediately dismissed. From this point on, I thought she was a TERF. Also, she rarely wears any noticeable makeup, which, although this may be a bit of a sexist stereotype, it's a sign of a TERF. I don't know why this is, but TERFs normally don't bother to wear makeup. And so I thought this was a sign she was a TERF. I also overheard a conversation that revealed she still reads Harry Potter to her kids, even though J.K. Rowling is a massive TERF, and she just generally gives off TERFy vibes. She seems so like some of those stuck up mum's neck cunts. I thought it was probably her who put the sticker up and decided to confront her about this. I realize now that this was a bit impulsive and it was wrong to do this when I was so angry. I should have waited till I had calmed down. I went on a bit of an uncontrolled rant to her about the sticker and TERFs in general and why I thought she was a TERF. However, she claimed to not even know what a TERF was. How can you not know what a TERF is in the UK in 2022? They are literally everywhere, even in the fucking government. Either she is completely oblivious and clueless about everything, or she's a lying TERF cunt, and I strongly suspect it's the latter. Also, I'm pretty sure I've called her a TERF before, and she seemed to understand what it meant then, but she claimed she thought it was a generic insult. She also just looked to she also just looked like she didn't care and almost like she resented having to have this conversation and just wanted to go. It was clear she has no respect for me. Even if she is not a full out evil J.K. Rowling style TERF, she is still a TERF. I told her that if she wasn't a TERF to tell me that trans women are women, as I know this is something no TERF would ever say, and she refused. I told her again to tell me that I was a woman. She then said that it would be meaningless as she would just be doing it for the sake of it, which sort of made sense, but it's also exactly what a TERF would say. At this point, I realized whatever I said, she would just continue to play dumb, and it was pointless trying. But I am now even more convinced she is a TERF, and probably the TERF who put the stickers up. It was just so infuriating talking to her, and her just playing dumb and also refusing to say trans women are women. And it really just annoyed me. And it was right to walk away as it was driving me crazy, and I was too angry to have that conversation. And even if I were to get actual proof, then because of that stupid Maya Forrester cunt's ruling, nothing could happen anyway, which makes me even more fucking angry. Not only that, but she then went to complain to HR about me, and now I have been called in for a meeting with them tomorrow. Supposedly, I've been accused of harassment, which is just absurd, especially considering she is a TERF. I realized that I probably shouldn't have confronted her about this, but I was just so angry and felt I had to do something. I literally never even touched her. I guess this is what she wanted all along, to try and provoke me and find a reason to get me in trouble. I also find it ridiculous that I am in trouble for overreacting to transphobia. Imagine if a black person got into trouble for overreacting to racism. This just wouldn't happen. And even if it did, then imagine the uproar that would happen, especially if they'd complained and it had been immediately dismissed. But in this case, there is a stuck up cis cunt complaining, and so it's all okay. I'm just really mad about everything now, and I can't believe this is happening. Everyone is looking for ways to drag us down and get us in trouble for the tiniest thing, and it just makes me mad. Everyone is against us, including the fucking HR bitch, who is supposed to defend us, and it's ridiculous. Had she taken my complaint seriously, this just wouldn't have happened. I realized that I shouldn't react like this, and it was impulsive, and I should have waited till I had calmed down. But surely it is understandable. I am angry. Now I will try to find better ways to protest that TERF, and I'm going to cover that stupid TERF sticker with pro-trans sticker. But I am nervous about what will happen tomorrow, especially as I think the HR bitch is probably also a TERF. So this was posted to the male to female subreddit. It was then deleted, but the OP ended up posting like a update in the comments, which I'll also be reading for you. And then after that, I'm gonna get right into it with all of my thoughts because this is a lot. Update. I had this meeting this morning with the HR bitch, and she was super patronizing, as you'd expect, but I basically sat there quietly and pretending to agree with everything she said without really listening. She also cis-blamed harassment to me as if me as a trans woman doesn't know. In the end, she just gave me a, quote, stern warning that this behavior is inappropriate, and forced me to apologize to the TERF. As infuriating as it is to be made to apologize to a TERF, especially as she had that stupid smug TERF smirk on her face, I guess it is good it is just that and not anything worse. She clearly loved the fact that this was happening, and I swear she just planned the whole thing from the start. I also think that she is going to try and play more games to try and wind me up again, and I think she just wants to get me fired or at least force me out of the company. She was annoyed with HR that they didn't do more but yet she didn't say anything to me really. But now I am just not going to sink to their pathetic levels. These people are so narcissistic. Like, the fact that somebody put up a sticker that says women equals adult human female, and that like, there's no transphobia in that statement. It's a biological reality. One. Two, the fact that a sticker can make you that upset, like, you really need like the deepest form of therapy if that really hurts you that badly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, uh, like, there's people with like legit psychiatric like disorders where like they do get triggered like that deeply. Post traumatic stress being one of them, and you know that's the reason why you see veterans that don't go out to like 4th of July because of fireworks. Like, it's preposterous for you know people to want the entire world to be their safe space. Your safe space is within yourself, and the fact that a sticker can provoke such anger and such feelings of like pain for this dude. Like, my man needs a fucking diaper because he's acting like a baby out here. And not even that, but another thing too is that he's acting like this is a direct attack on him. And it could be. I'm not saying that it's not. I don't work at that workplace, so I don't know the exact details of it. This could be a direct attack, but you know, even so, like, the fact that he's taking it such to heart, like, he did a good thing by going to human resources. If it like upset him that much, I'm not gonna say that that's you know I mean, at the end of the day, it's a sticker. I agree with the human resources lady that, like, what do you want me to do? There's a sticker. Like, I can peel it off, but at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying? Um, Another thing too is that, like, he comes like the Y chromosome jumped out so quickly. Like, he's using all these misogynistic slurs. Like, he called the HR woman a bitch. He called her like, he said she was a turf, which, like, how do you even know if she, what I'm saying? Like, how do you know if she is a turf or not? Like, it's so crazy to me. And then another thing too is that these people always like to liken their struggle with like race. Like, they always like to say like, oh, well, imagine if a black person was, treated like this, or like you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird to me. And then when you bring up like, transracialism and transgenderism in the same kind of like, trying to use that same type of argument, like, they're like, oh, well, it's not the same. Like, that's transphobic to say that. But it's like, if a white man started dressing up like a black man and then, started wanting to be part of like the NAACP, like, people would be very upset. And also, like, a white man can't really like understand the struggles that a black man goes through, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. Like, it is what it is. It's like, that is reality. And it's crazy to me. And also, he tried to like make it the same as like putting up racist stickers. Like, you can take off your whole like persona of being a woman. At the end of the day, I can't take off my race. Like, it's just insane. Oh my god, what is the world coming to? There was also, while I was editing this and like going to the original poster's Reddit user page, I actually found that he updated. So I'll be getting to that in a second. But another thing, like, he did use an MRA talking point right here. So for those of you that don't know what an MRA is, it's a men's rights activist. And really, a lot of the stuff that they talk about aren't really even like about men's rights. It's just like about like trying to own the feminists, which, take that as you will. But he was like saying that her complaints were taken seriously, whereas his were dismissed. And I gotta say, so I used to work retail, okay, and like, I never really had that many problems with it. It's just there was like one coworker that I had that was kind of like weird a little bit, and if that coworker had come up to me and was like forcing me to fucking pretty much say, like, oh, agree with this political ideology that I have, I too would go to HR, because I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go home. Like, I'm not here to make friends. Like, I'm just here to clock in, get my paper, and leave. Like, the fact that he cornered this woman and basically tried to, like, force her to say trans women are women is just preposterous. Like, that, like, dude, like, the fact that he couldn't see any harassment in that is just astounding to me. Especially because, like, you know, like, okay, let's say that she did tell him what he wanted to hear. Like, what then? Does that magically, like, make you happy? Like, like, what do you want? Like, what would you have gotten out of this? And then the fact that he says he never touched her too. Like, you can harass people by not touching them. If you touch her, that's assault. Which fucking she, yeah, fucking try it. Um, it's just this shit's so stupid. Oh my god, like, over a sticker. Oh my god. Um, and then also, it's just crazy that he thinks that, like, this is some type of, like, power play that she's playing against him just to piss him off or something. It's so weird. Like, he's like, like, he really thinks that he's, like, that big in this woman's world that she's, like, trying to, like, needle at him. It's just crazy to me. Now moving on to the other post that he made. So this post was submitted, like, 1 day ago on Reddit. It was taken down on the male to female subreddit by the moderators, but it says, a few weeks ago, I noticed a TERF sticker in the toilets at my work. This really infuriated me, and I reacted very badly towards a woman who I thought was a TERF and got in trouble with HR. After this happened, the stickers kept being put up, and there would have been more and more of them over time, which infuriated me. I covered them up with pro-trans stickers, but she seemingly didn't care about this. I was fuming about all this, especially as I didn't know who it was, who was putting them up, and which of my colleagues was the nasty TERF trying to deny me my human rights. I felt unable to complain, as before my complaints weren't taken seriously, and I got in trouble just for complaining. However, I have now worked out who the TERF is, but I only know this as I secretly looked in her bag and saw the stickers, which I probably shouldn't have done. I do feel less angry, ironically, than I did before I knew. It infuriated me not knowing who it was, and I hated thinking that any of my female colleagues could be this TERF. I've looked online at her social media for examples of her hate, and she doesn't seem to follow any TERF accounts, and most of her posts are just of her and her daughter. She's not really your typical TERF, as usually TERFs are all ugly, but she's actually kind of hot and seems cool to most people. She also seems too young to be a TERF, although she was always been cold to me, and now I know why. So I don't really have any evidence other than me looking in her bag, which I really shouldn't have done. Unfortunately, I think if I were to complain, she would make me look like the bad guy for invading her privacy or something, even though she's a TERF. And the bitch who works in HR also hates me and is looking for reasons to get me in trouble, so unfortunately I can't. And even if I did, then she could use the stupid Forrester ruling to stop getting in trouble. But obviously I want to make her life hell and make her accountable for what she's done. She has done nothing but try to deny my identity and deny me my rights, and now I want revenge. However, I don't know the best way of doing this without getting in trouble myself. I am on thin ice with HR, and so I really can't do anything, but I want to make her life shit. I can't really talk to people about this, as whenever I did before, I was constantly belittled and made to feel as if I was making a big issue about nothing. It also pisses me off that most people at work actually like her, even though she's a TERF cunt. And it pisses me off most of all that nothing bad can happen to her because of that stupid Maya Forrester ruling. Wondering if anyone has any ideas on what to do and what I should do to her. I don't want to act impulsively like I did before, and I need to be clever about it. Like, that shit is so scary that this man is so, like, one, he looked through her personal belongings, which, why are you doing that? Like, why are you going through people's, like, stuff? Like, that's just, like, no, like, you do not deserve to work in this type of environment, and I hope she finds this post and she takes your ass to, like, HR and, like, presses, like, charges or something. One. Two, like, people really want us to let them in our bathrooms, and yet when we do, like, they still find stuff to be upset about. And, like, the fact that he's actually like postulating stuff to do to her, like he's talking about making her life a living hell. Like the Y chromosome jumped out. I swear, like this is like my man is insane, and the comments only get like worse. Um, there have been like a couple of comments that I'll read like later on, but this one really caught my fucking eye because it's like, dog, seriously. So this one person says, best thing to do is wait it out for a while. Find out where she lives or car she drives. Have a friend or someone you trust confront her informally or and directly threaten to stop her shit. Or next time if she continues, you or someone brick her windows of her house slash car slash tires. Always works best in winter. More unfortunate, it could work. Trust me, I'm from Chicago. Like really, like a woman puts up a sticker that says women are adult human females, and a man is like all but ready to slash her tires and pretty much fucking leave her like, destitute and whatever. Like, it's insane. I swear, like, no. And it kills me when people say, like, oh, listen to trans women. Yeah, I'm listening. And this is, exactly why I chose to be a radical feminist because of, like, all this shit. Like, insanity, narcissism, just straight up like fucking crazy. My God. Honestly, I hope this woman is safe because just, that's really fucking scary. And also, this guy went through her purse, like her personal belongings. So like we don't even know if he even went and like looked through her wallet or her like, or found like her identification and like wrote down, like where she lives. This is really scary. It's really upsetting um that this guy is like so hell-bent on ruining this woman's life, and she did nothing to him. She didn't even physically assault him or anything. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, I just want to say that the way that it's written is very like incelly. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very reminds me of like how incels talk about like wanting to get retribution against women that like deny them you know sex or like affection or whatever. It's so weird. Like, it's crazy. Thankfully, like some people did comment, um, and were sane enough to tell the original poster that they were wrong for doing that. This commenter says, "This is going to be a hot take that'll get me downvoted to oblivion, but it's wrong to make someone's life hell at work because they have a different opinion than you. Just leave them alone. As long as they aren't taking action against you physically or through bureaucratic means, then there's nothing you can do." There's also an extra layer to this on a consequentialist level. You said the turf is attractive, so it's going to be much worse for you if you take any action against her. The optics are in her favor by a significant margin, so much so that the likelihood of your actions having any positive effect are slim to none. Bad optics from us trans folk are one of the ways how turfs advance their ideology, so it's better to not play into their optics game. Wait until the turf takes substantive action against you before taking action against her. Edit. Didn't read the part that you wrote about going through her stuff. That's highly inappropriate and you shouldn't be doing that, period. You really need to get help if you're doing these types of things. Sounds like you're a danger at the workplace. And so first off, I want to say like thanks to this one commenter that said, that you shouldn't be doing that because somebody else has a different opinion than you. But also, like, just because somebody is attractive doesn't necessarily mean that any action you take against them is going to be, downplayed. Um, I mean, it does happen. Pretty privilege is, like, kind of real. I'll get more into that later, though. But, um, like, I feel like they're, like, pinning all this like I feel like he's calling this woman a turf just to like you know what I mean, like I don't know, like um And again, like, he shouldn't be going through her stuff. Like, that's just really weird. And I'm glad that this commenter pointed out that this person sounds like a danger at the workplace. Like, it is, you know what I mean? And I bet you that if this person, like, if the woman caught this guy going through her purse and everything, I bet you that if he got fired for that, he would like blame her and just say that it was like all her fault that she got him fired, even though he was looking through her shit. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. So then the original poster like goes on to say, if they were putting racist stickers up, would your answer be the same? If not, why is transphobia different to racism? Yes, you are exactly right. Everyone likes her as she is hot and also she is a single mom, and so everyone panders to her. It sucks. And she is nice to everyone except me, so they will never listen to me as they all love her. It's just horrible really how she can get away with it all because of the systematic transphobia in our society and how no one can say anything bad about an attractive cis woman who claims to be uncomfortable. And then another person replied with this, which is pretty funny. Yes, I agree. Racism is usually frowned upon in the workplace. Like, imagine the reaction of if a white person in a workplace started coming to work in blackface and insisted they be allowed to use the resources of a professional organization dedicated to the advancement of black people in business. And then imagine a black person in that workplace expressed their disapproval of this by putting up a sticker that said black person equals person with black ancestry. And then imagine if the white person in blackface got enraged over that, searched their coworkers' personal belongings to find the stickers, and posted on the internet asking how they can make this transracial, exclusionary, radical, anti-racist, blank words, life hell. Gosh, people sure would be up in arms about that. Which, like, it's kind of funny that that person like really like called them out on that, especially because like the original poster keeps on bringing up race into this, which not the same thing, like, you know. And then they always get so, like, they always try, like I said again, they always try to equate transphobia to racism, and it's not the same thing. Like, you know, I can't take my skin color off at the end of the day. You can take off your makeup and, you know, your skirts and whatnot and all of that you know, makes you quote unquote express your gender as a woman. But at the end of the day, you still have a Y chromosome, you know, and you know what I mean? You still have a male body. You went through male puberty. You are still a male at the end of the day. And it's funny that this person like um, commented that because they really ate them the fuck up. Another person said, you gotta pick your battles and what hill you want to die on. I'll be honest and say, from what you have described, this is a losing battle and you won't die on the hill, but rather in the ditch below the hill. You could get revenge, but that's not going to end well with you at work. This person, as of now, doesn't know you know it's them. The reality is, as much as it sucks, you should try to be nice to them. Hate is bred from fear of the unknown and ignorance. The more you form a relationship that's positive with this person, the higher the chance they will change their opinion based off actual real life interaction with the person that represents what they hate and realize that they are wrong based off the relationship you form with them. If you take revenge or start being rude or mean or anything of that sort, you are only going to cement their beliefs, as it went from something they thought to something that was proven by a person representing that misinformed thought. So, I want to say that this person's like kind of right. Like, to a certain extent, I believe in killing, you know, people with kindness. But at the same, like, on the same token, like, this guy got so enraged over this fucking sticker. And he's, like, actively trying to figure out, like, ways to harm her. And it's just, I don't think that it's healthy for for this person to be interacting with her. And, like, another thing, too, is that this dude is, like, legit, like, actively trying to find ways to make her life a living hell. Like, that's not cool. Like, this dude has problems. And no amount of like them interacting is going to fix that. It's just, it would not be healthy for him and it would not be healthy for her. Another commenter posted, How many women's bags did you have to go through before you found the turf? Did you rifle through the purses of all the women before you found hers? You realize that's highly inappropriate, right? Regardless of your motivation. Which, yeah, it is highly inappropriate. Like, again, why are you going through other people's things? Like, really, imagine if the shoe was on the other foot, how this person would fucking have felt. And the type of post that they would make if some woman went through their fucking shit and found all these pro trans stickers. You know what I mean? Like, honestly. And also, this is just like, not only is it inappropriate for the workplace, but it's just super fucking petty and super fucking immature. Just like, just calling it like it is, it's super immature. Another commenter said, "Don't do anything. You're gonna lose your job. Try to ignore the stickers and move on. It just ain't worth it." Which, yeah, I agree. It's, okay, yeah. Can it be distressing? I guess. Again, the stickers don't necessarily really like say anything hateful. Like, woman dictionary definition does mean adult human female. That's the definition. That's not like a turf definition or anything. That's the definition. And also, this person should really think about, trying to take care of themselves and trying, to just kind of like roll with the punches. Not that like, you know, you, you know what I mean? I just, like this commenter said, it just isn't really worth it. Like, and you have work to do. You shouldn't really be like focusing that deeply on a fucking sticker. Like, it's a sticker, just move on. Take your pee and just move on. Another person said, "So you're going to reflect on the fact that in your previous post you admitted to cornering and screaming at an innocent woman who you had wrongfully decided was the turf, and about whom you were using all kinds of misogynistic language. You didn't get in trouble for complaining. You got in trouble for verbally attacking an innocent woman. Now you're admitting to rifling through a coworker's bags and wanting to make another woman's life hell. You are a danger to women." And someone replied this, "Thank you for saying this." And honestly, thank you to this one person for calling it out, because yeah, like, it's not that you were complaining about the sticker, which, to be honest, okay, yeah, was the HR woman a little bit insensitive? I mean, you could say that, but also at the same time, it is a sticker, and it's not like they said, "Oh, like, let's kill trans people." They didn't say that. They didn't say anything harmful about any specific group. A. B, the way it was written, I can only imagine, like, they said that they confronted the woman who they thought was, the one that put the stickers up in the bathroom, and demanded that they call them a woman. And that's like really, like, that's really harassive. That's really like uncomfortable to be in, and that's really like, that's really like aggressive. And kudos to this person for really like seeing through that and calling it like it is. So, not all trans people agree with, a lot of the radical trans activists, but, you know, um, it's sad that like we have to, that there are people that pretty much have to like say like, "Hey, like, you did this thing wrong," and that's why, you got this type of reaction. Like, you would think that the original poster would have like seen, how badly they reacted, and tried to at least do better, or at least, like, make, their time working there a little bit easier. But just, and you have to think about like the people that interact with this woman, because I'm assuming that the woman that they yelled at has, talked about the situation. I mean, she did go to HR, sorry, not ER. She did go to HR and like, told them about this incident, and it's gotta make her feel super unsafe in the workplace. And if she wasn't a turf then, like, she definitely probably doesn't feel comfortable around trans people now. You know what I mean? So you harassed an innocent woman and went through the personal belongings of another. I think the quote, "bitch who works in HR," unquote, has good reason to dislike you. Your actions are entirely out of line for the workplace. This. Yeah, like for sure. Like those act totally, completely inappropriate. I mean, even if she did mean it maliciously, like that, like, he verbally harassed one woman and basically kept on trying to get her to acquiesce to him. And it's, you shouldn't do that. Like, whether or not, like, you shouldn't be forcing your beliefs on anybody else. And just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot in that situation and it was like a woman coming up to a guy and trying to like force him to tell her, like whatever ideological position she was on, you know, like I can assure you he would not have taken it that fucking lightly, and he would not have, been that, he would not have been that passive about it. Like showing, like judging by how he reacted over the sticker in the bathroom, he definitely would have made a big scene about it. And just like I said, completely inappropriate for the workplace. Someone else said, I would start by reading this little book called The Art of War, Sun Tzu. It doesn't give you direct answers, but you'll find it fitting. Like, that is so dramatic. Like, you're really going to go to war over a sticker. Really? Okay. Someone else said, my friend left a paper bag filled with doggy doo-doo on a TERF's doorstep. The TERF caught it on the ring cam, and my friend got in trouble. She had to do community service. She picked up trash on the highway in a miniskirt and platform boots. She's such a badass. So yeah, just be careful with your revenge, and F TERFs. Another person said, always hide your identity when doing mischief/mayhem. Like, really? Like this is the crap that they say, and yet you expect us to allow them in our restrooms and like in our spaces. Really? Really? And like another thing too is, why are you doing that to another person? Like why? That's nasty. Like, like it's so disrespectful. And like, what, like I really want to know like what warranted that, because I don't, it's just so dumb. Like, I'm so sorry, it's so dumb, you know. And then the fact that they're like, oh, she picked up trash on the highway in a miniskirt and platform boots, like that is like, one, that is like so inappropriate, is but like to be dressed as, for community service. And I don't mean like inappropriate necessarily in the sense of like, you're all dressed up all, in a stereotypical like feminine type way. Um, but it's just inappropriate since you're doing community service, and like you have to be like able to have like mobility, and like you're out there for a punishment. Like, you're not out there to be like looking all like, fly and like looking, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, how narcissistic do you have to be to like make it all about yourself, which is so goofy. And also, like, the fact that they're advocating to hide your identity when doing mischief/mayhem, like, that just shows how much of a coward you are. Because if you really did not, like, if you really wanted to own the turfs, like, why are you doing it with your face hidden? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you doing it anonymously? Because you know the type of image that you're going to be portraying if you do this like with your mask off. Interesting, right? Say that the stickers make you feel unsafe and that it's harassment. If the facility won't remove them, then they're complicit with harassment in the workplace. Then if they don't react, blast them in the media with evidence. So, I mean, it's not necessarily like harassment because, it's not like it would only be harassment if, the woman with the stickers is taking those stickers and putting them right on, this trans woman's like work area or like her personal belongings, and she's not doing that. She's just putting them in the bathroom, which isn't, necessarily like bad. Like, that's not really a bad thing. Like, it's not like they have anything like obscene written on them. You know what I'm saying? And also the fact that you're going to go and blast your workplace in the media with evidence. I mean, that can only come back to harm you, because those two women, well, one of the women is going to find out that, you rifled through her bag. And then the other woman is gonna, basically go on the media and be like, well, this guy started harassing me and was trying to like force me to tell him that trans women are real women, despite the fact that I did not want to. I felt very uncomfortable and unsafe during this entire interaction. And I went to HR about it, and that's kind of what like snowballed the entire thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, my gosh, this is like, I got a lot of thoughts for this. And also, another thing too that I forgot to mention in this video is that this guy talks about how, like, people have been arrested for putting up like racist stickers. Well, a woman actually was arrested for putting up a quote unquote transphobic sticker. So the woman in question is named Jennifer Swain, 53, and she was a women's rights campaigner who put up stickers and posters in Newport, Wales. And she was arrested by the police for criminal damage and abusive writing after people allegedly complained that her posters carried an anti-transgender message. Officers executed a search warrant on her property and confiscated women's rights stickers and a book containing a collection of critical essays about transgendering children. Some of the stickers and posters put up by her carried feminist messages decrying violence against women, and others had phrases such as "no men in women's prisons," "humans never change sex," and they were reported as being offensive. This is what she had to say on her personal Twitter account. Yesterday, Sunday 23rd of January 2022, I was arrested for hate crime. Gwent police saw me as an exceptional threat to the transgender community by posting stickers and posters that did not mention transgender people once. They were feminist in content, and I felt pleasingly informative to women and concerned kids. I was kept in a cell with no natural light, my watch and phone taken, plus loads of stickers. They had a warrant and searched my house, taking yet more posters, etc. Example this one. I was interviewed at around 1:30 a.m. My meds were not given to me. I have severe bipolar. Gwent police released a statement earlier that week alleging that they received complaints about the offensive messages over a period of several months and that the posters contained abusive writing likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. Fair Cop, an organization which campaigns against the criminalization of free speech, since volunteered to support Swain with any legal proceedings that arise. Swain also said that when her house was raided, she found that a book edited by Heather Brunskill Evans on gender-critical children was taken. It was crammed with her notes, and she alleges that her thinking was being investigated. Not things, not materials, not actions, but her actual thinking. The book in question is called Transgender Children and Young People, Born in Your Own Body, and it's a collection of essays critiquing theory and practice of transgendering children. And we can see that this is one of the stickers that says, "Are you happy for your 13-year-old daughter to shower next to an adult man? Yes or no?" And for any of those of you living in the States, this was actually a point of contention a while back about the whole We Spa incident and all of that. And that, I want to say, was about a year ago. And then the TRAs tried to say that it was like a hoax, but then when it was found to not be a hoax, they like conveniently tried to pretend like it didn't exist. So that's where we're at. Fair Cop's Harry Miller told The Times that the posters that Swain put up around the Welsh town were a political statement and did not come near the criminal threshold. The organization's Twitter account addressed a message to Gwent police yesterday declaring that we have our legal team in place. We will be settling upon a donation platform in the next few days. In the meantime, we have paid costs and will be bringing our A-team. You picked on the wrong people. Swain was released on conditional bail at 3:30 a.m. on Monday morning as investigations continue. As of April 14th of this year, the charges against Jennifer Swain was dropped. So, good news, but it's still, awful that she was taken into custody over, just stickers and posters that, were about, you know, um, sex-based oppression and about, domestic violence and all that. And she didn't name transgender people, like, period. Um, it's just crazy that, like, now, you're like now your thoughts are being criminalized, and you just, like, freedom of speech is almost like coming under attack. um and it's really, really crazy that this is the world that we're living in now, where you have to, basically, like, say the slogans, or you're considered hateful, and you're considered like the worst person in the world. um you know that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys like this video. I'll be posting another video soon this week, and that video will be the Dylan Mulvaney critique. I'll be critiquing days 3 and 4 of his Being a Girl series. And then I'll also be doing the Ontario trans teacher that's gone viral recently. That one I've been doing a lot of research for, so I hope you guys like it. Like I said, my Cash App will be linked in the description, and if you guys can support the channel, please do. Just that way it makes it easier for me to keep uploading videos and all that. And so look forward to those new videos coming in the next, like, couple of days. And I'll see you guys next time.